Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and it is morning in Seattle, and I am walking the dogs. This is my vlog, where I try to highlight my journey and give you takeaways for your creative endeavors, to inspire you, to give you specific takeaway, things like that. Interestingly enough, my script that I'm working on for my second feature is called In Search of Sunrise. So that's what I have to call this vlog because it is not yet sunrise here in Seattle. And sunrise is a metaphor for creativity to me. It's a new beginning type of thing. And speaking of the script, just as a quick update, I won't get too far into it, but still working on going from the rough draft to the first official draft. So I've got about 40 pages left to kind of really rework. So getting there, slowly but surely. The major creative thing last week was on October 1st, we had what was kind of called a test shoot, but it really ended up being a shoot for my friend Courtney Stewart, for her concept, for her short film. We shot a little segment against the green screen. And then, one of the actresses that she works with, who's also a producer, she had a concept for a short film, and we need an alleyway. And so we also doubled up on that. And it was interesting because, her friend doesn't really know me that well. But listen, and so she was kind of hesitant of sort of asking for help and getting that much help. And for me, if I'm there, I'm there. I'm going to give you everything I got. And so we shot various kind of takes and various kind of angles of what the scene needed to be. And, overall, I'll be editing her project as well as Courtney's. The project for not Courtney is theoretically a lot easier because it's only 2 pages. But we'll see, She was hesitant to ask me of putting more on my plate, but I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to do it. Why not? I think it's almost like in music video editing, or just editing in general. When I was kind of coming up, my professor Rob Pan-Sproul, who I worked for on Garden Girl TV, he used to say, shoot in a day, edit it in a day. So that was kind of his mantra. And so I think that's doable, I think I can certainly edit something like that in a day or two. I certainly better hope so, otherwise I'm not a really good editor, right? So that was exciting, just to be around creative minds. And it was a very small group of us, actor, director, Courtney as the producer, and then Morgan is the other actress / producer of the second short. So very exciting stuff. The other kind of thing last week, so I was talking with my friend Tony, whose birthday it was last week. Shout out to Tony, 27 years old. But one of the things, he listened to my episodes, and he was saying how cool it was that I'm doing this thing where people can schedule 15-minute consultations for basically free. All they have to do is donate a very small amount, whatever they feel, to a charity of their choosing. And I said, well, why don't you do something similar? Why not? He said, oh, because you have followers and you've got an audience. And I said, it just kind of hit me in that moment. I was like, I don't have an audience. I have a professional reputation. And that's what I'm interested in. When I realized, that just kind of solidified me. Sometimes you need to say the most obvious truths. And in that moment, that just kind of solidified me. Like, that's what I do, and whether it's this or anything else. It's, the goal isn't to necessarily, quote unquote, maintain my professional reputation, but it is about maintaining my, I do the hard work that I do, and I do this, and people trust me, not because I have an audience. I don't have an audience. My audience is very small. I'm proud of you. You're part of my audience, I would hope. Even if you just check in from time to time, that's okay. You don't need to watch every episode. I know that. I put out a lot of content in hopes that, you get what you want, and then you go back to your creative work. That's what it's all about. It's not about following me, necessarily. But yeah, to me, it is about my professional reputation. And, I make sure I try to always deliver and be a man of my word and so forth. Do I always succeed? No, of course not. But, if I can't do something, or if I'm falling behind on something, I try to, be honest about it. And so even when I'm quote unquote failing, at least like I've communicated properly and so forth. And at the end of the day, we're all human. But I would, in a sense, with your social media especially, like, that's what I would implore you to kind of do, is stop worrying about so much followers and just more worry about your professional reputation, rather. I think that's a better way to look at it. Anyway, I am in Seattle for the next few weeks, and it's good just to kind of get out of, for me, LA, but wherever you're at, if you can get out somehow, do it. It's one of those things, when you travel, you really start to kind of be more empathetic for things in life. I think it's like reading and watching movies and art in general, I think is truly fantastic. I really do, obviously. But nothing substitutes experiencing it. And, it's just interestingly enough, now that I'm in my 30s, one of my big goals is to try to live in various cities across the world. I would love to be able to, not just like vacation-wise, but I would love this idea where I go and I work for a month or two at a certain place. So I'm still like working, and that's the beauty of the day and age we live in, is that we can do that, But I would love to do that, because then, like, instead of just going for a week, I don't want to just go for a week. I want to really experience a city. I call it almost like local tourism, meaning I would love to, if in an ideal situation, have somebody that I know that can highlight the city to me, so I can see beyond just the tourist traps and really experience it from that perspective. I think one of the best ways for me to get to know a city, actually, it's riding around on a bike. I really do. I think, walking's fun, but it takes a long time. Whereas biking, you can get around way, way faster. So I think that is a great way to explore the city. So I got to explore Seattle like that. I've explored Vienna with my friend Sarah Stratton like that. Paris I've done in that way, as well as like walking. So it's really cool. And the reason why I say a month or two is because you're not cramming everything in within a week. You're really giving it that space and seeing like what it would kind of live there, what it would be like to live there. And I think a lot of people put this pressure on this idea that only in your 20s can you take risks. But I worked really hard in my 20s, and now I think my 30s are kind of still about working hard. But the fact that I can work basically from anywhere, that's going to be a big goal of mine, is to try to do these types of things. And from there, figure out what is a place that I might enjoy, and maybe eventually settle down and so forth. But also, yeah, the initial point is there's nothing like experiencing it firsthand. You know, I think we take that part of it for granted, the experience part of it, and being able to take back something with us. You know, I think even like with nonfiction, it's great to read how-tos and, you know, extract various knowledge, but kind of also exploring different cultures and being able to firsthand experience it and then taking it back and kind of, I think that's what's needed in the world, because we don't have that, you know. I think that would create a lot more empathy. That would create a bigger amalgamation of cultures and so forth. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I've been thinking about firsthand. So that's what I have for you today. You know, I know there's a lot of other stuff going on in the world and things like that, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of a break from that and something else to concentrate on, some of the goodness. But yeah, and that's what I have. Thank you, as always, for going on this journey with me. I truly appreciate you. And if you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to do so. That will get all the various episodes that I put out right when I put them out. And if you think this vlog would help someone, by all means share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it. I appreciate you, and hope to see you next time.